So this is the last video from 2016 that I was going to be uploading. After this, I'll be putting up my new footage with my new gimbal. But for now, I really wanted to show you guys all the footage of me testing out a Devinci Wilson at Whistler last year.
I guess with less jumps, more cross country.
It's just a rental bike, but I really wanted to try out some new bikes since I was already thinking about getting a new bike. So I just did like a 4-hour rental. It was actually a lot of fun. The Devinci Wilson's quite a solid bike. I believe it was a carbon, or at least the rear triangle I think was carbon, and I was quite happy with it.
What the shit? Oh, frick. Oh. Why did they put this? Shoot. Oh. Should've just like jumped it.
The annoying thing about the rental bikes though is that certain parts that just kind of suck, like the tires were a bit harder, so like I was drifting my rear wheel a lot, and the brake levers were just the worst, especially my rear brake lever. Like my fingers would like slip on them, like they were just the worst brake levers, and the grips were complete garbage. But I guess that's kind of what you get from rental bikes. But otherwise, yeah, it was a sweet bike. Now, the guys at the rental shop recommended me to ride a size large, and I told them that I normally ride a size medium. I am 5'10". I generally prefer a bike that's a little on the smaller side than bigger side, but they said that the Devinci Wilsons are generally a bit on the small side, so they recommended a size large would have been good. After checking out all the geometry, I still am kind of surprised that they were saying that, because it doesn't really look to be the case, to be honest with you.
I feel like I'm feeling a bit worse on cornering. I don't know, just like I just can't corner as sharply as my grip. Otherwise, Freeride feel, right? Yeah. Something too commentary. Yeah.
Especially compared to the Transition TR500 geometry, the Devinci Wilson is a bit bigger. Like it's a longer wheelbase, it's a bit of a longer reach. Yeah, I was just a bit surprised that he was claiming that it was small compared to other bikes, but I kind of disagree, I guess. But regardless, I handled the bike quite well. The sizing was still quite good for me. I guess I'm really curious now as to how it would feel if I had a medium, because I wonder if medium would have even felt better. But this bike felt good. It was really solid. It was really stable. It was noticeable how much faster I could go on some of the technical stuff. Like I could just like plow through some technical stuff that I would not be able to do on my Truax. Of course, the big worry about riding DH bikes for me is that like, oh man, will I be able to jump with these things?
It's so pretty. I could die.
Because I just had a few experiences in the past years where I would try out a DH bike and I just felt like really awkward on the jumps. But you know what? I felt really good with this bike. It was totally fine.
Are you kidding me? I hit my head hard. I hit it hard. I cracked it.
Are you serious?
I cracked it.
Oh shoot! Yeah, you did. Oh no. Shoot.
That's what it's supposed to look like?
Okay.
And that's right in my head. It's all compressed.
Oh yeah.
I check my helmet all the time. That happened, that freaking crash.
So on an earlier run, Wesley actually ended up crashing on A-line, and he ended up cracking his helmet. Generally, you're supposed to always get a new helmet after that, but he actually ended up riding that helmet until only like about a month ago, so he kept riding that helmet for quite a while. I was surprised at how comfortable I was hitting jumps with it. I think I've kind of grown out of that little fear of, you know, can DH bikes really jump? I'm definitely happy with how the Devinci Wilson was handling the jumps. I was able to ride Freight Train quite well. And coming to No Joke here was really good with the bike. It would just like plowed through those trails. Like I just like hauled through some of that rough stuff like faster than I could with my Truax. So like that was really nice to be able to just like crush through some of that rough stuff. I apologize for the super shaky footage. I think you guys are aware I am getting a gimbal. In fact, I have it already, and I've already done a couple rides with it already. So this is the last video from last year for you guys. So the next videos after this will finally involve my gimbal and introducing to you my new gimbal footage and what I'm doing with it. And so I'm super excited for all that. So I really did enjoy the Devinci Wilson. I thought it was quite a good bike, but I'm thinking of size medium actually might be better just by looking at all the geometry of the size mediums versus the large versus, say, my current size medium Truax versus what Transition TR500s have. And just because I am still thinking a lot about the Transition TR500, regardless, it was a really good bike, and so it's definitely something I want to keep in mind for the future.
I was definitely more faster for that than the Truax, definitely. But I was like, because I was never gone that fast through that before, I was getting a little sketched out.
Yeah.
It's these brake levers that suck.
Yeah, does your like front almost slip off? Oh, no, that's your rear. Holy shit.
Because like my finger just wants to like slip off. I hate these brake levers.
And I just felt comfortable hitting the jumps, and I felt really solid hitting the tech, which is great, kind of get the best of both worlds. So that's really what I'm looking for, and you know, just 8-inch travel GH bike, like that's what I want to get into, and so it's definitely a contender for what I want to think about in the future.
Yeah, with this bike I was like almost feeling more confident in like boosting that stuff too.
Yeah.
I can jump pretty good with this bike, thankfully.
You jump good on it?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty comfortable.
Nice.
Going like the wrong way. I don't know where I'm going. Oh. Oh man.
I definitely have a lot of good things to say about it. It's just too bad that since it was a rental, I got some like lame parts on it that just like was really bugging me, like the brake levers, the grips, the tires.
Frick! Oh man.
Can I go down this road?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
So Wesley took a spill on freight train there, so he was going to just head down by himself down the main road. I was just on my own, finishing off the run. And yeah, I have to say, riding Whistler in near the end of the season can actually be a lot of fun. Much more damp there, you don't get dried, crappy trails anymore. And they do some nice work on the trails. So it can actually be a pretty good time to go riding. And this is when I decided to go ride Crabapple Hits on my own with the Devinci Wilson because I was feeling confident. As you already seen in my previous video, that was a lot of fun. It just felt so good to be able to hit those jumps again finally after 2 years of not hitting them. But I'm interested in hearing what you thought about this video and my previous videos from last year. And yes, I know this footage is getting kind of shaky. It is old footage. My filming standards have kind of changed a bit since last fall. As I said, next video is now involving my new gimbal. I cannot wait to show you guys some stuff. In fact, I actually wanted to show you guys just a sneak peek at some gimbal footage that I've got already. So I'm using this new gimbal with the Hero 5, and I'm really happy with the footage that I got already, and so I cannot wait to introduce to you guys what I'm doing in the future with my filming setup, with my gimbal setup, and just the great stabilized footage that I'm going to be getting, and I'm really excited for it.